publicly dumped for having no wolf blood. She marries the most powerful wolf. Instead, he reclaims her homeland, destroys her enemies. And this contract marriage, it was his years-long plan to protect her.
A waiter bumps into me. Red wine spills down my dress. He doesn't apologize. He doesn't even slow down. Why? Because in a world where wolves rule, a wolfless girl like me is nothing. Then Braden gets to his feet. The whole room goes silent.
Tonight marks a new era for our pack. I present my choice, my fiancé, Catherine Parrish.
He takes Catherine's hand. Thunderous applause fills the room. Her eyes say it all. You will never belong here. 7 years of living on their charity, and this is how it ends. I bite my lip, turn, and run out of the banquet hall. I flee to the library. It's the only place in this pack where I won't face sneers. The moment the door closes, I finally break down. The tears just pour out. I crouch in the corner, hugging myself, just like every time after they humiliate me. Adela, you're pathetic. You actually believed he would choose you. Catherine's words are still echoing in my head. Foreign girls like you will never belong. She's right. I have no wolf, no family, no status. I'm just a charity case they picked up from the ruins. My parents are dead. My land was burned. I have nothing. I don't even know if my wolf will ever come. And then, someone speaks from the darkness. The voice is low, like thunder before a storm. I look up. It's the Wolf King, Dallas Marshall.
Do you want to leave?
Dallas Marshall, the Wolf King, the most powerful man in this country. Why is he here? Why is he looking at me like that? I'm a mess, humiliated, nowhere to go. But he keeps staring at me. His eyes are black, bottomless, like they could swallow you whole.
Don't waste your tears.
I scramble to my feet and wipe my tears. My knees are shaking. Mr. Marshall, I didn't know you were here. I'll leave.
Stay.
That's not a request. It's an order. The air itself trembles. He walks towards me. Every step feels like it lands right on my heart.
You can stay with me. But if you do, there's no turning back. Cross my threshold, and your old life is over.
I look out the window at the party celebrating my removal. Then I take his hand. His hand is large and warm, like a furnace. Take me away. I don't care. I've had enough of living like this. His Maybach is as silent as a graveyard. It shuts out all the pain of the Hyde estate. I find the whiskey decanter in the rear minibar and pour myself a glass. The burn in my throat is the only thing strong enough to distract me from the electricity still buzzing where he touched me. He drives with one hand. His profile is sharp and unshakable. What's wrong with me? I'm actually thinking about asking him to marry me, but I need protection. I need a shield. I need to make Brayton pay. Marry me. The car doesn't swerve, but the air inside vanishes instantly.
You're drunk, Ms. Everett.
I'm desperate. I have no wolf, no family. Brayden will kick me out by morning. I need protection. And you need something too, don't you? Everyone wants something. He doesn't answer, but I know he's listening. Back at his penthouse, he walks to a painting and opens a safe behind it. He pulls out a contract.
Sign this, and then you belong to me.
A binding protection contract.
You asked for marriage. This is a binding protection contract. It gives you my surname, my resources, and my absolute protection.
He leans in. The scent of cedar wraps around me and makes my head spin.
But in return, Adela, you become mine. Your life, your safety, your future.
I stare at the paper. Dense clauses, binding, Marshall, wife. I don't read the fine print. I don't care about the consequences. I just want the pain to stop. Where's the pen? I sign it. Adela Everett. The moment the ink dries, the room spins. The last thing I feel is him scooping me up, overnight, from a discarded outsider to the Wolf King's wife. The next morning, I realize everything is real, and Brayden has called 52 times. I wake up to the smell of rain and cedar, and that same electric charge that still makes my heart race. This isn't the servant's room at Hyde Manor. This is his territory. The room is huge. The sheets are charcoal gray, silky smooth. Outside the window is the whole city skyline. on the nightstand, a stack of new clothes, a black card. His note. The note says, "Business in the north, do not leave the city. Use the card." And a ring, platinum, simple, thick, no diamonds. But when I put it on, it feels heavy as a shackle. My phone buzzes, 52 missed calls. All from Brayden. Brayden text, "Stop playing games. Come home, you belong here." I stare at the screen. For the first time, I block him. Silence. But for the first time in 24 hours, I feel a tiny spark of control. Just then, someone knocks. Azalea, Dallas's daughter, knows something is wrong. "Why did my dad just transfer you a fortune? He mentioned some translation job." I'm translating ancient texts for him. Library archives. I'm lying, but what else can I do? Tell her I married her father? Dad doesn't read. He only growls and signs things. She leans in and sniffs. Her expression changes. "You smell just like him." I quickly pull up my collar to hide the marks on my neck. She doesn't press. She just drags me downstairs. In the parking lot, a fully loaded Aston Martin waits for me. Everyone is watching, whispering. "He had it dropped off an hour ago. A gift to you. I can't drive this." "You can, and you will. Get in, Mrs. Marshall." That's when I finally understand what it means to be publicly claimed by the Wolf Queen. I never reply to Brayden, but Catherine attacks me online for him. I open my phone. On the Howler, the pack's private social platform, Catherine has posted, "Finally cleaning house. The wolfless parasites who try to climb by clinging to alphas, blood still matters." The photo shows her arm around Brayden, smirking. The comment section has exploded. Each remark is a poisoned arrow. Finally, the Hyde Pack did something right. These pity case outsiders need to be kicked out. Catherine is the true Luna material. That Adela isn't even fit to shine her shoes. Does Adela think wearing a gown can hide the stench of a stray? Every comment stabs at my heart. They're voicing all the fears I've always had. Thankfully, Azalea's by my side. I glance at Azalea instinctively. She's staring at her phone, her brow furrowed. What is Azalea thinking? She's also a local wolf. Does she think I'm just a social climbing outsider too? My heart hangs in the air. My hand uncontrollably grabs the hem of the dress. Then Azalea's thumb moves. She replies with a single emoji, a skull. I hold my breath. She looks up at me, her eyes holding no contempt, only disgust. Disgust for them. She's a bitch. And annoying. I freeze for a second, then the breath I was holding slowly escapes my lips. She doesn't look down on me. She looks down on them. That simple sentence works better than any comfort. Dallas sends me to his jewelry store. I think I'm just picking up a simple necklace, but the clerk takes me to the deepest private suite. Frosted glass walls, bulletproof. Then he brings out a black velvet tray.
Mr. Marshall insisted on the Luna collection for you, Mrs. Marshall.
The Luna collection. Moonstones encircled by layers of white diamonds. Ancient, heavy, giving off a kind of power I have no right to touch. Wait. Why is my dad showing you the top bridal line? There must be a mistake. We're here for his birthday gift. A watch. The manager must have misunderstood. My lie is flimsy, but Azalea doesn't get a chance to press further. The door bursts open. Brayden storms in.
I knew it! You think you can just walk away?
He grabs my wrist. His nails dig into my skin. His scent, sour milk and burnt rubber, makes me want to throw up. For the first time, I pull my hand back. I'm married.
You're married? To whom?
I don't answer, but the guards are already surrounding us. 2 men in black suits with the black wood crest on their lapels. They're not security. They're the kind of men who make people disappear.
Mr. Hyde, you are trespassing. Leave within 5 seconds.
You think finding a sugar daddy will save you? You're just a wolfless parasite! You belong to me!
Not anymore. I'm already somewhere you can never reach.
I will find that man! I'll challenge him!
He's dragged away, but I see the fear in his eyes. He doesn't know who my husband is, but he knows he can't touch me.
I'll tear his throat out!
Azalea watches him go and shakes her head. You know he just said he's going to kill your husband, right? I look at Azalea. and give her a mocking smile. If he knew my husband was the Wolf King, how scared would he be? As Brayden is dragged out of the jewelry store, he's still fighting. He looks back at me, venom in his eyes like a viper.
You think he can protect you? I'll find that man, and then I'll kill him!
I stand there, his fingernail marks still on my arm. But I'm not shaking anymore. Dallas sits in a black leather chair, city surveillance screens in front of him.
Mr. Marshall, Brayden caused trouble at the jewelry store. He threatened to kill you.
Dallas doesn't look up. His fingers tap twice on the desk.
I know.
Dallas opens his phone and scrolls to a photo. It's a candid shot from 3 years ago. Me laughing on a university bench. His thumb traces my face. The corner of his mouth twitches. Not a smile, but something deeper. Possession.
He doesn't know who he's dealing with.
After leaving the jewelry store, Azalea drags me into a cafe. She wants the whole story. Now, from the beginning. My dad, the contract, the ring, everything. I take a deep breath. I tell her everything. Running from the banquet, meeting Dallas in the library, signing the contract. She listens, then stays silent for a full 10 seconds. You married my dad? Contract marriage. Just protection. Then she laughs. Not angry. It's the kind of laugh that says I have no idea what I've done. You didn't just find a protector. You dropped a nuclear bomb on Brayden. Do you know what my dad is? He's the Wolf King. The most dangerous man on the continent. Brayden says he's going to kill my dad. Brayden isn't even fit to stand in his shadow. She laughs, then suddenly turns serious. Adela, you know what? My dad has never been like this with anyone. He smells something in you. Azalea's words keep me up all night. What does he smell in me? The next day, I secretly searches for Dallas Marshall online. Very little public info. Business empire, Wolf King title, and blank spots. Several years of his history are missing. I asked Azalea at the cafe. She hesitates for a long time. Those years were erased by the council because he commanded the Dire Guard. Dire Guard? The legendary assassination unit? They were sent to crush a rogue uprising. It was a massacre, but he didn't lose control. He did what had to be done. She lowers her head, her voice shaking. His best friend Zane took a silver bullet for him, died in his arms. I cover my mouth. A silver bullet for a wolf? That's a death worse than death itself. After that, he changed. He's terrified of loss. He controls everything because he can't bear to watch someone important die in front of him again. So if he goes crazy for you, it means he feels fear. From this moment on, I start seeing Dallas differently. He's no longer just the cold Wolf King. He's a wounded man, physically and mentally. That evening, I'm about to head out. Building security calls.
Mrs. Marshall, someone is blocking the entrance. He claims to be your ex-fiancé.
I walk to the window and look down.
Adela! Come down! You belong to me! Your hide pack!
I don't move, but I can feel the air in the room change. Dallas appears behind me. I don't know when he came back.
He thinks he can still touch you.
He walks to the intercom and presses the button.
Brayden Hyde, you are trespassing on my territory. You have 60 seconds to leave. Otherwise, I'll treat it as an act of war.
There's a long silence on the other end. Then Brayden's trembling voice comes through.
You can't threaten me! I'm the future alpha of the Hyde Pack!
I don't care who you are. You touched my wife. You touched what's mine. You will pay for that.
He ends the call. Turns to look at me.
Pack your things. We're going home.
Isn't this?
I mean the real home.
He doesn't explain. He just grabs the car keys and walks to the elevator. I follow. My heart is racing. The car leaves the city and heads into the mountains. The sky darkens. The road narrows. I can't help but ask, where are we going? Where are you taking me?
A place you should have been all along.
The gate opens. The car drives in. Outside the window is a valley. In the moonlight, I I can see the outline of an estate. I freeze. This is Moonstone Creek, my parents' former territory. This old estate has wartime tunnels. Some of the entrances haven't been fully sealed.
Wasn't this burned down? Wasn't it taken over by the Hyde Pack?
I bought this land 6 years ago, rebuilt it.
I stare at him, unable to believe it. Why would you care about a ruin? He doesn't answer. He just parks the car and opens my door.
We're here. Get out.
I stand in front of the estate, tears almost falling. He walked to my side.
This place has been waiting for you.
I walk inside. Every detail is exquisite and expensive, yet somehow empty. He leads me to the master bedroom door.
This is your room. Best view of the valley.
What about you? Where will you stay?
West Wing. I have packed business.
He turns to leave. I call out to him. Dallas. He stops. Doesn't look back. Thank you. No one has ever done this for me. He's silent for a few seconds.
You shouldn't have to live like a guest in your own life.
He leaves. But that night, I can't sleep. Not from fear. That's when I start to think, maybe someone truly sees me.
The next morning, Azalea arrives. She's holding 2 cups of coffee, grinning. My dad was afraid you'd be scared alone, so he sent me to keep you company.
He said you might not be used to it. I take the coffee. A warmth spreads in my chest. He thought of that too? He thinks of everything, especially when it comes to you. She pulls me outside. Come, I'll show you something. She takes me behind the estate, down a cobblestone path, to a stone wall covered in moss. She takes out an old key and inserts it into a wooden door in the wall. The door opens. A wave of fragrance hits my face. I walk inside and freeze. It's my mother's garden. The garden I thought was gone forever. Moon-petal roses, my mother's favorite flower. I thought they all burned in the fire. I thought I'd never see them again. But here, hundreds of moon-petal roses, blooming in the morning light. The petals are almost translucent.
How is this possible? Aren't these flowers extinct? My dad hired botanists from the south. It took 6 years to bring them back.
I crouch down, gently touching a petal. Tears blur my vision. Footsteps behind me.
These flowers were saved for you.
I look up. He stands in the archway, backlit, his expression hidden. You knew my mother?
I didn't know her, but I know you.